This is the plaintiff, Jennifer Clayton. She says she purchased ceramic tiles for her new bathroom floor and didn't realize they were the wrong color until they got to her bathtub and didn't match. Turns out the tiles were mismarked. She received different ones than the one she picked out, and now she has a big problem on her hands. The defendant says she'll replace the tiles for free, but refuses to pay the contractor to rip up the old incorrect ones and install the new ones. She's suing for $4,069.07, the cost of the job. This is the defendant, Angela Elliott. She says it's up to the customer to make sure the color they ordered is correct before they install the tiles. Otherwise, it's their problem. Between her and her installer, someone should have noticed the tiles they were installing were 8 times, yes, 8 times darker than the ones they ordered. Bottom line, she got her new tiles for free, but the labor to install them is on her. She's accused of being colorblind.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. We'll go find a new one for you. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thanks, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Jennifer Clayton, you are suing Angela Elliott, Mandarin Carpets. You are the owner, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For $4,069.07 in labor costs to rip out and reinstall tile because, according to you, she sold you the wrong one. Tell me what happened.
Okay, can I start off by saying I actually really like their business. I've been there multiple times. This is the 3rd time that I've actually purchased tile from them. This time was for my master bathroom. 8/26, I ordered the tile, and she said it would take a couple of weeks to come in.
Okay, who went to pick out the tile? You alone or you and your tile guy?
Me.
Did your tile guy ever go?
He had to pick up the sample because the samples were on these huge boards.
Why did he have to pick out the sample?
Because I couldn't fit it in my car.
No, but so you did take a sample home and look at it in the right lighting and all that?
Yes.
Okay, but they didn't have a sample to
No.
give you. Okay. And so he went, picked it up, looked at it in the lighting, everybody likes it, you go for it. Okay. And what happens?
A couple of weeks later, when it arrives, he went and picked it up. He started laying it. When we got home that evening, immediately my husband says, "It looks a lot darker than what I remembered." And I said, "Yeah, it does." Well, maybe once they put the grout in, maybe once we kept on with it. So by the time he got to the shower, the border that I had purchased, once he put that up, then it was, I thought I'd done a terrible...
That was what? What did the border tell you?
The border told me it looked horrible. I did a terrible job. Nothing's matching. We had decided that we were going to have to repaint the walls.
So you thought it was your fault?
I thought it was my fault.
Right.
I thought I've done a terrible job. I didn't even admit it to him for quite a while, how much I disliked it. I'm trying to talk him into it. Meanwhile, inside, I'm trying to convince myself.
Right.
So he said, "You've got to go back to the tile store and at least get a different border. This looks like crap."
Okay.
I said, "Okay."
Do you have pictures of how it looked with the border? Okay.
Yes, I do. So as soon as I get back to the tile place and I look at these huge samples, I realize immediately, oh my gosh, they sent the wrong color.
Okay. Go ahead and show
The
me.
first 3 are the darker tile.
Thank you, ma'am.
The last 3 are what it ended up looking like.
Okay, hold on. So this is the dark tile,
Correct. The first 3.
and this is the correct tile.
Correct. The last 3, I have one picture that kind of shows the 2.
Right.
That was the only picture I could find that I had the exact picture of both.
Okay. So when your husband comes home and notices it's too dark?
Immediately, he said, well, he complained the whole way.
I know, but so he sees that, and your tile guy has done how much at that point?
At that point, originally when he first saw what little bit had been laid, he said, "It looks darker." And I said, "Yeah, it does look a little darker."
So all of you see it when a little bit had been laid, and nobody says, "Oh, wait a second."
It never dawned on me. I've ordered so much tile. I've done it a million times.
It never dawned on you that, see, that's the difference between you and I. It never dawned on you that someone would make a mistake. It never dawns on me that someone's not going to make a mistake.
It's my it's the 4th bathroom in the house I've done. I've ordered tile so many times.
You then bring it to her, and what does she tell you?
She said, "Well, can you go home and look at the boxes?" So I go home and I look at the boxes, and the box is correct. It matches my paperwork.
Right.
So she says, let me find out. She calls me the next day. They had two of the colors flipped.
They did, or the manufacturer did?
Whoever.
The manufacturer.
The manufacturer actually sent you samples with the wrong numbers on.
Yes, and I have photos of how it appears in our store.
Can I hand them to my bailiff?
That's the actual display. And the color names are on the top.
Wow, there appears to be, you call this an 8-shade difference. Are there 8 different colors of stone in between these 2 colors in the color rainbow of Desert Cove?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see that? Proof of that?
I don't have proof of it.
I'll be honest with you, they don't look 8 shades different. I thought there was gonna be some huge difference. Huge difference. You're a homeowner and you go to the store, you do everything right. And it turns out the manufacturer's you do everything right too. The manufacturer mislabels the samples that they sent you. So put yourself in her shoes a moment, okay? It's not like the tile that came was red and it's obvious. The tile is a different shade of brown, okay? She went there, how long did the tile take to get to the store?
2 weeks.
Okay, so I see a brown, I pick a brown, I go home, and then 2 or 3 weeks pass, and it comes, I go, yeah, that looks darker. But it's the number that's on my paperwork. Oh, God, I botched it. I picked the wrong. You're going to need to persuade me. The issue, though, is that you've got a contractor. You had to pay to put it in, and now you got to pay to put it out. And then, of course, he's got to put it in again, but that part you should be paying.
Right.
Right, but there's one put in and one put out that's going to cost you how much?
$4,000.
$4,000. It's a big bathroom.
Yeah.
So, and you don't want to eat that. You don't think it's fair. So let me give you the floor. Talk to me and tell me why you should win.
Okay. So prior to Mrs. Clayton coming in and purchasing the tile, she sent her contractor in to the store. He picked up a sample of it and
brought it to the home,
went
and
through
they
all
looked
the
at it and they
colors.
loved it because, of course, the sample they picked out was this one.
Right.
So this was called Maroon, and it shouldn't have been. It should have been called Noche, right? All right. So she takes it home, and Maroon looks great. And then what happens?
Right. She came back and ordered. And what happens in this business that we're in, we generally install most of our tile. We do bathroom remodels all the time. And what we do...
That would have been great. If you'd used them, it would all be their botching. Okay. Or they would have noticed it. Right.
So the contractor was aware of the color selection. He signed for it. We checked it all the boxes were correct. They matched the packing slips. So we all thought everything was okay.
Right, right.
So what we do when we install a job is we lay out the tile, we lay out the decoratives, we show them the whole, what the project's going to look like before we actually start installing an entire bathroom.
And you're suggesting that her tile guy should have done that?
Well, he is a seasoned veteran in the tile business. He was a representative for a major...
This is why when you're renovating, you have to take a year off your job and stand there and stare at everybody. I just went through all this. It's ridiculous how much goes wrong.
It's been 7 years, and that's the last room, and I'm so thankful it's over.
He starts laying the tile, and neither you nor your husband are home?
No, I'm at work.
Right.
In the evening,
Yeah, you have a life. And then you come home, and then part of it's done, or your husband at some point comes home before you and sees part of it done, doesn't stop him because he doesn't know the debacle. Should he have stopped him? No. Go ahead, go on.
Well, so if he would have laid it out and saw the decorative pieces look terrible with it, then we would have known there was a problem prior to the installation.
Yeah, or if the manufacturer had not sent the wrong color in a box, because as it turns out, this is not maroon, this is Noche, and this is maroon.
Right, correct.
It's one thing to check the boxes because they may have sent the wrong color.
Right.
That's for sure. But when
Right.
you check the boxes against the paperwork and everything matches, he's supposed to remember what brown was picked 2 weeks ago from that time.
No.
Right.
No,
So what
no.
you're suggesting is he should have made sure that the customer's color choices were the customer's color choices. How often does that happen, that the customer changes their mind on their color choices? So he comes, she's already made the color choice. What's he supposed to do? Edit her color choice?
No, it's just that we lay everything out and have the client approve it before
Right, but
we start installing.
client, you lay everything out again when it's in the after
When
the client
it's in their home.
because you've already laid everything out at the store and they liked it. Then they laid everything out at the house and they liked it. Then the woman's got to go to work. You know, the tile guy's going to come while she's at work. Let me ask you a question. When she comes in and she says, "Listen, I have a $4,000 bill I'm not going to eat," do you ever go back to the manufacturer and say, "This is all your fault. You guys should pay it"?
Yes, I did.
And what'd they say?
What they agreed to do was, to begin with, on their invoices, it says that no claims will be honored on installed materials, period. once they're installed, even if they're defective. It's an industry standard.
Let me see the report.
It's right here. On
Is this something she signed, or is this something that's
No.
between you and the company?
the manufacturer, yes.
Yeah, you and the manufacturer. Is this something she signed? Do you have anything
no,
on your contract that says that? You should, right?
Probably so.
You should probably stick that sentence in your pre-printed forms now.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
and
what
back-
I have on my invoice is our warranty is as per manufacturer, and the manufacturer specifies, but it's a known.
No, but that's a deal between you and the manufacturer.
Correct.
That, yeah, if they don't see it, they're not bound by it.
No. I only mentioned it because that's an industry standard.
Yeah.
That once it's installed, even if it's defective, they won't do anything about it.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
Normally.
I guess what I'm saying to you is there are times when industry standards matter. This isn't one of them. She has a right to sue you because her only privity of contract is with you. She doesn't deal with the manufacturer. So she's suing the right person. I got to tell you, if I end up ruling against you, you have the right to sue the manufacturer.
Yeah.
But then what did they do? You said they were willing to what?
Well, they replaced the tile, obviously.
Yeah,
Sent the
well,
new
that
tile
goes
right
without
away.
saying. That didn't need saying. Go ahead.
Right. And so then they agreed to credit our account for 7% against future orders in which we could give the installer the payments.
Wait, what does that mean? I don't understand.
If I ordered $1,000 worth of tile from them, then they would credit our account for 7%.
Until the 7%
Until
reached
the
100%?
Yes, until it reached 4,000.
Oh, well, that's really big of them.
Well,
It could take years.
well, actually, we order a lot. We order a lot from
You do
them.
order a lot from them?
But
Well-
the installer came in my office and had a meeting with me and told me that was absolutely not acceptable. That absolutely will not work.
Well, right. Well, you could do that. You
Yeah.
could pay the installer the $4,000, and then you can collect your $4,000 because you order
Yeah.
so much from them.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
you could. But you didn't do that, right? You
No.
didn't offer to do that. Ah, okay.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, is the tile company going to have to eat it, or is she going to have to eat it?
The tile company's going to have
Because?
to, because they gave her the wrong tile.
They did give her the wrong tile, but she installed it.
I think they should just split it.
Well, why? They're both at fault?
50-50.
Okay. Well, who's going to be the deal breaker here, the tiebreaker? Okay.
It's her fault. She should have brought a tile or kept the number, the sequence number, and then got the right one. It's her fault.
You're a hard woman.
That's true, but it's her fault.
Wow. Going inside the courtroom.
So here we are, folks. You're a lovely company. You try to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
And I understand that. But the difference between these two, I got to ask myself, was it so irresponsible of the installer who've been privy to it, of you who see it midstream, of your husband who sees it early on? Was it a negligence on their part to not immediately spot that the color was different? And I have to tell you, now looking at the photos, I don't think it is. And it's not that different, although I do understand that once it's all there in the entire bathroom, it ends up making your bathroom look extremely dark. It's kind of they're both really pretty, frankly.
Mm-hmm. They are.
They're just a different taste. It wasn't what she wanted. She wanted lighter. So, much to my surprise, I'm going to find in your favor.
Thank you.
And you can attempt to recoup that amount from them, which I think you should be able to, unless they're holding as a defense. Hey, we're real clear with you that installation doesn't matter. I think this falls outside of that because this couldn't have been more their fault. It isn't, oh, hey, these tiles came and they got installed, but as it turns out, they're a little rougher than they should be. It's not something like that. It is a huge, embarrassing error on their part. Verdicts for the plaintiff, $4,069.07.
Thank you.
Well, here comes the tile lady on the losing end of the gavel in this case. What's the smile about?
Well, the contractor should have been responsible to inspect the tile. We always inspect the product before you install it.
You're the experts. You have the
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah.
You know the difference between shades, hues.
Yeah, we do, but he chose it too. So he knew what it looked like. And you always inspect the tile when it arrives on the job because sometimes the dye lots are off so far that it's not acceptable to the client.
All right,
So-
now you have the right to go against the manufacturer to recoup this
Correct.
loss. What are your plans there? Are you going to go after him?
Absolutely.
So we'll see you in court again.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
head right down there. Okay, so how do you feel coming out?
I feel wonderful.
Yeah, you got the bucks.
Well, I was really happy that the tile was wrong because it was really ugly. So I'm glad
You
when I
really-
got to the store and realized it was wrong.
You were really
I was
happy
glad.
that it was
yeah.
wrong.
I mean, not, but yes.
Yes, but not.
Yes.
All right. So how's the place looking now?
It looks great. It's
does?
fabulous. I love it.
Okay. Harvey?
Got to tell you, Kurt, if you breach a contract, you may actually end up having to pay more in damages than the actual value of the contract. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.